Hi guys, hope you're well. This is a little update on my little vintage Kyosho Yz250. Yes, I've made myself an alley front wheel. Bit of a mission. It runs lovely. Nice and strong. Back one's holding up really nice. So I've got front and back alley wheels now. And I also splashed out and bought myself two savox servos because I'm fed up with I think I had the Yz250s in there, and they had no pull in them whatsoever, you know. It was sort of worse than usual. Sort of around a neutral point, you know, they didn't have like any sort of power whatsoever. And I've even got a rear brake now, you know. Something which I just couldn't get with a standard servo, and it's quite a powerful brake. Now, as you know, I've had a few test runs of this bike. I can sort of just about, if you've got sort of barely flat grass, you know, and a bit of room, I can sort of get it around almost. But where I'm running it, it's like a football pitch. So on the outside of the football pitch is kind of worn down, and it kind of goes around there all right. But because these don't run any crash bars or anything like that, you have to sort of turn it quite wide. I'm thinking just for testing of making up a little bar to go round here, just to give me a little bit of leeway. Because the problem is with the engine, it's not got a lot of power, so when you slow down to go around the corner and you want to pick it up again, you just need that little bit more power. It's miles better than it was, but what I did on last run, which I don't know if it's the right thing, they come with this is the idler gear. Now it comes with this is an 18 tooth, but it's got a really bad mesh. It's hardly touching. So I've got myself a 19, and it meshes perfectly. It's almost like it's been made for it. But that's what I run the other day, and I don't think the engine have enough really sort of guts to pull an extra tooth. You know, the other sort of problem with this is the exhaust. Where the exhaust goes up in the head here, it's got like 3 square holes where the exhaust actually goes through. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually elongating all them holes out to make that like really open and sort of try and get it straight into the pipe. I put a bigger out pipe on it, but it runs really rich, you know. It's not running that clean. But once it sort of revs out, it's okay. But as soon as you slow down and you want to pick the throttle up again, it's a little bit oily. But it was very, very close to running, and I think now I've got some good servos, and I'm going to put the 18 back in there. I'll show you where the idler goes. Also, I've put the alley flywheel back on it. It seems to be okay, because when I was having trouble starting it, I made a steel one out of stainless steel. But I think that puts a lot of strain on the gears because it's quite heavy. So I'm running the alley one on there at the moment. Seems to go alright. I've got my one-way starter. You sort of have to spin these over fairly fast. I'll just show you where that idler gear goes, because I'll show you what, you know, the mesh. This is the standard cover. It's not very good. It's kind of like a rubber. We'll get back to that a bit later because someone sent me quite a good one. Now, if you can see, I'll bring this up. If you can see the mesh on those gears, look, it's diabolical, absolutely horrendous. And you know, look at that. But that's an 18, and everyone I spoke to has got one of these bikes have put the 18 in. But I'm wondering, like, whether Kyosho actually sort of put this in, because this mesh is beautiful. It fits perfect. It's like it's made for it. I'm wondering whether Kyosho back in the day put this larger gear in, the idler gear, and then found out that the bike wouldn't pull it. So they sort of put an 18 in as an afterthought. I don't know, I'm guessing here. And put an 18 in, hopefully it'll pull it, because the mesh is just, it's like, as you can see there, it's like, I mean, it's terrible, absolutely terrible. So, I don't know, I'm going to go with the 18 again and we'll try that. As I was saying about this cover, on the last video I was saying to you, if anyone knows anyone who can 3D print one or whatever like that, let me know. But I had a nice guy, Rob Smith. Apparently he got me through the Tamiya Club. And he, not only did he pay my subscription for the year, which was very nice of him, he sent me a couple of resin made covers. Now this is a resin one, which is really nice. And if you warm it up, it goes like sort of rubbery, so you can try and get it on, but it's just catching on the back here, on the clutch. So I'm going to see if I can sort of ease that one away, because it's much better than the one I've got. And it's got, you know, the Yamaha written on it, and, you know, a little bit of work, quite good. So he sent me that, and also he sent me an original sort of like rubber cover, and he sent me a resin one that went straight on. Perfect fit. I might just put a little bit of Evo stick or some sort of like glue, contact glue, just to make sure I don't lose it, because you know, they're pretty hard to come by. So as it is at the moment, we've got it running, the engine running a lot better. I've moved the, on here, because it's like gravity fed so much, if you don't have two needles, it will just flood the engine. So I had the needle sticking out the side here, right. I had the needle sort of coming out this way, and every time it went over, it kind of like pulled it round and, you know, made a bit of a mess of it. So I've moved it round on the back so I can still get to it. So what I do is I leave the main needle, this one, set to its optimum position, like I said in the last vid. And with this one, I just open it. So as I'm spinning it over, I gradually open that. I've got the glow start on the front here, so I'll gradually spin it over, and it starts fairly well. So that's kind of basically where I am at the moment with that. I'm really sort of hoping that next time out I'll have a bit more luck, because it's going to have the 18 gear. But at the moment we're having like a fair bit of rain and stuff at the moment, and you know, weather's not great, so you know, I don't really want to get it muddy, but I'm hoping to get another video of it running. The wheels are going to help it, and it's nice and get fuel on them and just clean them off, you know. It's a lovely looking little thing. And people ask me, like, you know, when are you going to put the mud guards on and all the other bits, but to be honest with you, while you're testing it, you know, you don't really want to put, you know, mud guards on and things, because, you know, they can break, they're quite flexible, but you don't need that on. Once you've got it running right, and I'm sure I'm going to have to fit some sort of crash bars, that's when you want to sort of put that stuff on. Yeah, so as I was saying, a big thanks to Rob Smith from the Tamiya Club for sending me them. Fantastic. Now because I've gone my own way with the design of this bike with the back end, all these are miles too big, you know. What they did is they put the great big seat on it and it up here like that, and they kind of brought these down a little bit to try and make it look sort of a bit better, but they're, you know, I've got to make some of them that are smaller, because the numbers are miles too big. You know, I've got all these, I've got both sides, you know, but they're just not in keeping with what I've got on there. You know, they were made for the bigger seat to get the bigger servos in. Because what I was thinking the other day, I mean, this bike must be a lot lighter than the standard bike, because you know, they had great big tubes that went up here, and another set up here, two full-size servos, like 148s. They also had a NiCad pack. So can you imagine the weight that must have been up here? You know, so this must be a lot lighter because they had a lot of other gubbins on there as well, little brackets and things like that. So this is, you know, if any one of these bikes is going to run, it's going to be this one, you know, and I won't give up until I can actually get it up and down in a few circles, you know, circuits, and get it to put where I want it to go. I've been running it with a mudguard on, but I thought this, you know, all these parts are really hard to find, so I'm leaving them off for the time being. People say, you know, have asked me if you've got everything, and yeah, I've got the parts, and I've had to repair them handlebars because I was like testing it with the handlebars on, and obviously without the rider sort of supporting it both sides, it caught and it broke through there. So I've just made two LE like tubes, and I just glued them over the top. So that, you know, I've sort of lowered the bracket down because they were supposed to go right on the top here. So I've lowered it down to put them down a little bit lower. Still looking for a rider. If anyone knows of a rider anywhere, let me know. See, that's another thing. The Kyosho made the rider out of polystyrene, so it shows you that they were chasing weight. I mean, Kyosho would never do that back in the day. They'd always have like a proper plastic dummy or a rider, you know. They wouldn't have used polystyrene, so I guess they were chasing the weight on this all the time. Because you imagine the original rocker type steering had a humongous lump of mild steel on here with a very complicated setup to actually rock the cradle with the, you know, the yokes backwards and forwards, because originally they went sort of that way and that way. But, you know, all you needed was this little rod here. It steers really well. If I can sort of get the engine to perform, it'll be fantastic. So, you know, so the next thing when I try it, I'll have the new valve, got the new servos, got brake, engine's not running too bad. I've had it on the test bed today. I did the forks. We've got a nice new front wheel, nice alley front wheel there. And I'm hoping for good things for this. I think it's very, very close. Clutch is still slipping slightly. I'm still looking into that. I've got some like brass weights in there, so I might put some more, bit more weight in them, or I might try and a softer spring, slightly softer. But you know, I think we've got the engine running quite well now, but I'm sure there's still more to come because my other little bike with the OS 10 in is far more responsive, and that's just got two straight pipes that come out and they come up the side on a race rider. So just one more thing, I've been told as well by Rob Smith that they use the Anderson, I don't know if you know the latest bike, there's an Anderson MX5, come out sort of 10 years ago, whatever, it's discontinued now. But the tyres apparently will go on this bike. Now, I've sort of measured them up. I had a front one, but it was a lot smaller than that, and I didn't think it's going to fit, but I've been assured that they do, so I don't know. They do the soft compound one, and I've been on to Gregor at Motor Rad Shop, and he's got the front soft one in stock, but he hasn't got a rear one. But I've actually seen him on the wheels, and they do fit, but looking at the tyres, I can't believe they can go on the rims, but he showed me a video of him putting them on, so like they do fit. So these are okay for now, but if I want to run it, I might try and hang on to these and fit the Anderson ones. They look very similar, but you know, say the soft ones are out of stock. So I'm waiting on the tyres. Gregor said he's going to he's got a standard one on a rear wheel, but the standard one looks like a different tread pattern, and it doesn't look like it's going to fit the same. But what I want, I haven't tried it until you sort of get the tyres and you know try and get them on the rim. We'll have to wait and see. So that's where we are with this, guys. It's kind of looking good. One of my favourite little projects at the moment. So some of the others have gone wrong, as you know, with my last tyre video. But I've got my Aprilia that's playing up, that's not working. I crashed crashed a plane last week, and I dropped my helicopter when I hit the throttle, and it spun around in my hand and dropped to the floor. Done a fair bit of damage, so you know, had a bit of a problem week. I've repaired the helicopter. I've repaired the plane as best I can. I'm building actually another plane at the moment, which I might do a little bit on. It's a vintage Cessna 188, or was it 118? AG air wagon. It's like a old-fashioned crop duster. Really got a lot of character in that plane, and I'm putting this little baby in it, which is a Kyosho 62, one of their latest type engines. So we're going to prop that in a crop duster. I'm going to try and do a little video, but it's quite a big aeroplane. But I'm looking forward. I've done the wing. It's made out of 3 sections. It's a bit difficult to do on your own, but it's done. Oh yeah, and I painted the seat. That's in like barbecue paint, and you put it in the oven, and you can spill what you like on it, and it won't take the paint off or go sticky or anything like that. So alright guys, I'm going to sign out now. Subscribe, or if you want to, you know, drop me a line if you've got any parts or any info on these bikes. It's they're great little things, and I'm sure we can get one to run. So with that guys, I'll sign out, and I'll see you in the next one.